Welcome to Brew and Review with Mike and Jake from Orange Cactus Coffee. Join them as they put coffees and brew methods to the test.
That's right. We are brewing and reviewing 4 coffees from Angel's Cup. We've got their tasting flight on deck, and we're using a Japanese-style iced coffee and the Hyperchiller V2 to make some cold coffees today. This is Brew and Review 19. It's going to be our last Brew and Review for a few months. We're going to take a little break from brewing and reviewing, but play my track.
All right, well, let's hear it. Review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review, review coffee, review.
Hi, welcome to Brew and Review 19. I am Jake Coble. With me, as always, is the Mike Kincaid, and you have stumbled upon a show by Orange Cactus Coffee, that's us, where we brew and review coffees from around the globe. Today, we are brewing and reviewing 4 coffees from Angel's Cup. Angel's Cup is a subscription service that sends you coffees from different roasters at a pace, I guess, that you select every week, every 2 weeks, every month. We have it selected every 2 weeks so we can get, I don't know, too much coffee and brew way too much coffee for you while you watch. So the lights were acting up. For those of you who are listening, we also have a YouTube channel. We put these videos on Instagram and sometimes on Facebook, but kind of YouTube and our own podcast is where we spend most of our time, kind of just straight through from beginning to end. But we've got our Bonavita 1.7 liter electric kettle behind me going. And what that does when it hits temp or when it starts to heat, the coil heats up, it makes the lights go out. So anyways, that's from my pause. Sorry about that. Back to Angel's Cup. This is the tasting flight, not the black box. The tasting flight is 33 grams of coffee. And let me see. Yeah, for 4 different coffees. And then you get a little cheat sheet. You guess where they're from and then what you got. The other thing that we have is a recipe from Square Mile and the legendary coffee legend himself, Jim Savin. Correct. They have a recipe, 32.5 grams of coffee, 200 grams of ice, 300 grams of water. That is a Japanese style or iced coffee. What that means is you hot brew it over ice. That's what we have done here today. We've prepared 2 coffees already. We are going to prepare 2 more coffees that you can see. And the reason why we do that is we don't want to waste all your time watching us brew the same way over and over and over again. So what we've already done with the Hario V60, that same recipe that we just told you about, 32.5, 33-ish, we put 200 grams of ice inside the brew vessel. We use 300 grams of water to hot brew the coffee, and then we kind of mix it up together, and it's in the glasses sitting in front of us. We also did the same thing with the Chemex. What we did there is, yeah, same thing. 333 grams of coffee, 200 grams of ice, 300 grams of water. We've prepared 2 coffees. We're going to affectionately refer to them as 5577, 5578. And now we've got 5579 and 5580 still to brew because it's blind tasting. That's how Angel's Cups works. They keep it secret, keep it safe, like the One Ring, yes, traveling from the Shire to Mordor and Mount Doom.
But good intro, Jake.
Thank you.
Well done. Not entirely accurate, so let me correct a few things.
Yes.
No, the only but is for number 80. Switch it up a little bit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't gotten there quite yet.
I know.
But jump in there, buddy. Jump in there. This is a perfect time. It was a perfect, I will do a little bit and you give us a little bit.
Oh,
Go for it.
You give us a little and I do a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Equal time.
What are we doing for 80, Mike?
We have this guy. And
Wait, this is 79.
Oh, is that 79?
79.
Oh,
this is going to be
sorry.
80.
Well, for 79.
79.
Not 80.
Yes.
But 80's also in the end.
The legendary.
What?
Hyperchiller.
Oh, yeah. So it's dripping a little bit.
Because we waited too long.
We've got the Hyperchiller here. You check it out in the video. What the Hyperchiller is, for those that may not know, it's basically a way to rapidly cool a hot beverage or any beverage. Doesn't have to be coffee. It can be a libation. Could be, yeah.
What's a libation?
It's
booze?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It could be booze. It could be wine.
Word. Yep. Something that makes you feel alive.
Yeah. Makes glad the hearts of men.
There you go. So basically what it is, it's a series of chambers. The outer chamber, you fill it with water. There's an outer chamber and like an inner chamber. It's like a slug, like a cylinder. And you fill them both with water, freeze it, and then you can rapidly chill. You pour your hot liquid in on the top, and it chills it about 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and then you pour it right back out. And there's no dilution. There's no dilution? Dilution.
Yes. Delusion word. There's a lot of delusion. There's a lot of delusion on this show. Because Mike and I both have delusions of grandeur.
Of grandeur?
Yes. Grandeur.
Grandeur. Dilly.
Okay, let's get going here.
Yeah, so we're gonna get going.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna
real quick
start
though.
brewing?
No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, start brewing. Okay, Jake's off. But this Hyperchiller here is special because it's 2.0. It's the newest version that we were sent to test out and review, and so we've lived with it for about a month. What you need? What are you doing? Oh. You ring my bell, buddy. So anyway, this Hyperchiller, they've made some improvements. I think the biggest improvement, in my opinion, is the top now has what they would say is like a deeper well. Where you pour the liquid, the hot liquid, is deeper. So you can pour a little quicker with less kind of spilling out or running down the edges. They've also improved the pour spout. It pours a little truer. Supposed to kind of give you a little more, I don't know, balanced, even pour as you would expect. And then they've added kind of a new design to the outside ring on the lid. It's got like this shiny diamond looking pattern, which is kind of cool. So I use the Hyperchiller quite often. I really enjoy the flavor from an iced coffee, from brewing hot and then immediately chilling. Though I also enjoy traditional cold brew. I just find that sometimes when you have a very nice fruity coffee, even like a natural, doing a hot brew and then chilling immediately just kind of pulls out those flavors a little bit more. So that's the Hyperchiller 2.0. We're going to give it a go live. Well, not live. Well, live for us. Recorded at an earlier broadcast for you. So what we did, though, I don't know if Jake mentioned, we kind of used a recipe that we found on the Square Mile blog about iced coffee. They kind of have a nice blog that Jake will link to down below in the show notes, which is cold
brew. Wait a minute,
brew.
you just said I did a good job, and then you don't even know whether I mentioned it or not?
Correct.
Wow.
Do all compliments have to be based in truth?
No.
Fair enough. In this blog post, they talk about the difference between cold brew and iced coffee, and then they begin to say they prefer iced coffee, and the recipe that they kind of use in the shop and the methods that they promote. And this 60-40 method is what they call it, where you use 60% of the water is hot, and then the other 40% is cold, or is the ice. That's how you kind of break it down. They also recommend with your grind to go a little bit finer, just because you don't have, you're not using as much of the hot water, so you want to go a little bit finer to promote a little quicker extraction. And that's what we did. So we combined that. We went from Gym 7 to Rayo. We used kind of the Rayo method on both devices. Try to do a bloom with a little excavation, and then for the most part, a single pour up to the final brew weight, which in this case was 300 grams. How are we doing, Jake?
I think we're coming in perfect.
Coming in hot. Wait. Well, cold, hopefully.
Yes, it's hot, but then it's going to get cold. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Right at 3 minutes.
Cool. So we thought this time... What you need? Oh, you need the bowl?
This time.
So this is our third go, I think, third or fourth go with Angel Cup. The blind tasting. We just thought it'd be fun to kind of do a chilled, iced coffee version. And last time we did the iced, hold on. I was trying to not mess this up, but also give us a clear view.
Let's do the two little ones for $79 for the Hyperchilled.
You want to do these two little, the shorter, fatter, round ones? I think that's in view. Hopefully that's in view. Go for it, buddy. Just pour right in that well. Pour right in that well. Nice. See, it's...
This is my first time using the Hyperchilled.
Well, congratulations. How does it make you feel?
That was surprisingly simple. Very simple. I just poured it
even Jake can pour. And then what they recommend...
Hyperchiller, so easy to take into it.
Oh, you do? Yeah, that's their slogan. Now here, you got to finish. You got to swirl it.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that part? You're not completely done. Not completely done. Jake's if you heard that, he's dumping out the water we used to pre-wet the filter in the Chemex, which this time, I'm happy to say, is the white bleached. You swirl as long as you want. It's proportional to how cold you want your coffee.
Oh, well then we're going to.
Yeah, swirl, swirl, swirl. I believe, and I should have looked, so I apologize. I'll look while we're live. I think they're $40. 30, $40.
And they say within like 60 seconds, right? They
yes.
Cool
yep.
the beverages down.
You can use it for two. It just takes the second one a little bit longer. You can do, like, we could brew another one and chill the next one, too. Yeah. You just want to leave it in there for maybe a couple minutes.
I think I'm very impressed. Very impressed by it. It's very cool. All right. Do you want to hand me those 2 glasses and I'll pour this in here?
Has it been time?
Yeah, it's been 60 seconds.
We'll just leave it while we brew the next one.
Oh, okay. I'll just
we'll let it super hyper.
Let it super hyper chill. Okay. And this one.
You want me to do it? You talk?
No.
We got to add the ice.
Yeah, we got to add the ice. So
this is a 2-man job.
What I do is I still pre-wet the filter for the Chemex. That's what we're doing now. It's got 3 sheets on one side, one on the other. Make sure that the 3 layers goes towards the spout, right?
Yep.
All right.
Side.
Yeah. So
to help prevent collapsation.
Which I've never collapsed it until today.
Until the pre-camera version. All right, there we go. Got it. You got 2 hands.
I'm gonna
add
2 hands.
How much ice are you adding?
200.
Oh, good. He remembers the recipe. Well done, Jake.
Thank you.
So on Hyperchiller's site, just to give you accurate information, $29.99, not $40, $30. They are rocking, and they've got a deal buy 2. You can get U.S. free shipping or free U.S. shipping if you want to word it the correct way. Or you can buy 3 and get a 4th free. So
that's a pretty good deal.
You want to get 4 of them, 2 for you, 2 for your buddy? That's the way to go. Just don't let them know one of them was free. Yeah. So that's it. Well, what you can do also, what we did not attempt, is you can actually put the V60 right on top. You can put a brewer right on top and brew directly into it. We just didn't want to make a mess, which we're prone to do. So we chose the latter option of brewing into the Hario. What do they call that little guy? The serving vessel?
Yeah. Just a brew vessel, serving vessel. Yeah. Yeah. The XGS60.
Oh, to be more precise.
Yeah. If I can read that off the side there.
All right. Chemex away. Am I supposed to keep going here?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we're pouring 90 grams, right? We have 33 grams. We're going to do 90-gram bloom.
Yes. Yeah, since we're using about 32 grams of coffee, we'd like to go 3 to 1. Yeah, just make sure we get enough saturation, which is essentially the beginning of the brew is where you use enough water just to get the grounds wet. You're not necessarily trying to brew the coffee just yet. Some will slip through. It always does. But what that ensures is that when you finally do go to add the water and start the brew, you create less channels. All the coffee's wet, so the water distributes more evenly than if there were dry and wet spots. If anything was dry, the water would avoid that and just kind of channel towards the wet spots. So that's the purpose. Porpoise?
Porpoise.
That's the porpoise for the bloom. And then right there, we just do a single pour, circular motion, kind of try to hit the edges just ever so slightly, get all the grounds in the slurry there, and add the remaining water, 210 grams. That would be bringing us to 300. Well, you did 90, so we did the remaining 210.
No, this is 200 grams of ice, 300 of water.
Correct. And you did 90 grams of water in the first pour, and you added the remaining. Yeah, I did math quickly. Yeah. I know it threw you off, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does, all the time.
It surprised me, too. Not entirely sure that that's correct, but it sounded right.
Yeah, close enough.
And that's it. And then you did a little stir at the end. And have you been trying to do the Rayo spin?
I embarrassed myself.
The swishel?
I embarrassed myself once with a little swishel when the camera was not going. I don't see any need to embarrass myself a second time while the cameras are running.
Oh.
But
I would like to see it.
Okay, fine.
Let's try the swishel. I call it a swishel because the swirl doesn't work quite so well. In fact, I think that's what collapsed our channel on the last brew. And Jake had to fix, but he did a good job. All 4 of these coffees were ground on the Lido, which I do say, I think we got the grind pretty good this time. I think we nailed it.
I think we're spinning.
Oh, you got a little spin?
We've got some spin action going, but we're going to end up with a mound instead of a flatbed.
I think Ghost would be okay with that.
Ghost is all right.
He's just happy to see the Chemex back.
He's happy to see the Chemex in action. What's interesting about the Chemex is Jay Dizzle had it, and Jay Dizzle gave it back. And he was so excited. He was like, the Chemex is like, that's what specialty coffee is.
It's
the
pretty.
Chemex. It's so pretty. And then he's like, you can have it back. And then I let him borrow the Kalita Wave 185, the Tsubame. It's beautiful as well. It's copper. It's got the ruffle filters, and he gave that back as well. They're both expensive filters, or expensive filters, expensive brewers. But what he said is the Hario V60, a little $5 plastic, clear plastic. That's his go-to. That's the one every day. Yeah, give that a little swirl. Looks like all the ice is melted, and it's quite cool to the touch.
I think with the Chemex, because it's a little thicker glass, well, it just retains heat more than the V60. Yeah. You fight that a little more. When you pre-wet, especially hot.
I have to say, this has been the best recipe for iced coffee that I have used. But you have to make a lot of coffee.
And that was the other thing we thought of last time. Going with the 500 grams in total, it just seems to produce a better result.
It does.
And this time we used little crunchy ice, but we were saying if you have bigger cubes, spheres, larger chunky ice, you'll probably fare a little better.
First of all, again, I don't appreciate the term chunky being thrown around so haphazardly. Secondly.
But you can't latch on to every word that offends you
and pretend
it applies to you.
Secondly.
I'm not second, I'm first.
I
take offense to that.
I'm sad that I didn't make the ice spheres. So I apologize to everybody watching and they want to see the beautiful ice spheres. They are not here, but it's a company called Wintersmiths.
Wintersmiths?
And you get the best ice from them. I highly recommend the kit. It's expensive, but so be it. All right, we're going to unleash the Hyperchiller coffee.
Yep, do the
Hyperchilled coffee. This is 79 right here. Oh, look at that. It just looks smooth.
It pours ever so nicely.
It really does.
So simple to use. Even Jake can do it. That's it.
It's beautiful.
You are done.
All right.
And now you want to pour this one? Might as well.
Yeah, you can pour it.
I can pour it? You'll let me touch your Chemex?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to use one time.
This one time.
I'm going to use the spout. Shall you go for the double pour, or should I not risk it?
It's too late now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because you're trying to get the same amount in each glass, right?
Yeah, but
you want a double? All right, let's go for the double pour. No pressure. No pressure.
I'm gonna stand up.
You want to stand up for it? Yeah. And Mike hit the table. Now he hit the back of his chair with his butt, and he's thinking about it. He's got pour coming out the spout, now out the top. And it looks like the spout pour is a little bit heavier. It looks like he's adjusting. He's got an even pour, both sides. Now he's a little heavier on the opening instead of the spout. Yeah, you got to get a little spout heavy there, Mike. And what's interesting is the coffee is foaming up. It actually looks like someone peed into the glasses. That is so appetizing.
I think it's because of the air, the oxygen.
So we've got everything over here.
We've got a little bit of foam in there, too.
We've got 80. We've got 80. So then that one is 78. And the goblet is the little goblet. It's not a little Goebel child. It's an actual goblet, and that is 77. So we've got 78, or 77, 78, 79, and 80.
Wow.
And we, of course, have our water, our sparkling water, or our club soda, seltzer, our seltzer water.
Club soda, seltzer water. Is it limeade?
No.
Nope. Cherry?
No, I went out and bought the unflavored stuff for you.
Oh, nice.
So to make your coffee experience more pleasurable, I went out and bought things.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, Mikey, I'm excited to drink all this coffee. It seems
Are you?
like a lot of coffee.
I'm a little nervous because we've already had some shots today.
I'm feeling good.
I'm already pumped up.
Yeah, I'm already pumped. I'm buzzing, and I don't know if this is a good idea. Now, we had talked about it also in Square Mile's article before we jump into the coffees here. They had talked about adding a little bit of milk. They talked about adding a little bit of simple syrup and also orange slices.
And they talk about how to compensate if you're going to add milk, too.
Now, the missus is out right now. Should I text her and have her bring some orange slices in, or are we just going to drink these coffees neat?
Just drink them neat.
Okay. All right. 77. 55, 77.
Now, we did look. We loaded them in the app. None of them had a brewer's recommendation.
Correct.
Roaster's brewer recommendation. Roaster's preferred method of brewing. There we go. So we did our own. I do say.
No idea. No idea, but it's delicious.
It is very good.
I have
Very
no
sweet.
idea what it is.
Very sweet.
Do you have an origin guess?
Sugar plums dancing on my tongue.
Oh, okay. So sugar plums dancing. I'm going to go with Colombia.
I almost
Are you
spit.
okay?
You
all right?
You take one sip and like, I have no idea. Colombia. Like, it is like, I don't know. I'm just going to roll with it.
What's your guess?
Give me just a half a second. Half a second. You got to tell the people.
There's
what
23 and a half minutes.
Yeah, we're going to zip through these. But what kind of acidity are you getting? What kind of body and any flavor?
I'm getting sugar.
I'm getting Colombia.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm getting. It's tasty.
We should, by some people's estimate, coffee is easier to taste when it's cold. So you should be able to pick it out. It's a good acidity.
I'm going to go with
medium body.
A medium body. I'm going to say that I'm getting a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of honey, maybe some brown sugar, molasses maybe. I'm on that side of the flavor wheel.
Yeah, I can see that. There is a bit of something that's trying to balance it out on the... No, it's very sweet. It's very sweet. I'm saying Ethiopian.
All right.
What we got?
Walnut, pecan, and spice is what they think.
Walnut.
And it is the very first coffee that you have ever had from India. Karnataka.
Not entirely true. Monsoon Malabars.
Oh, is that right? Oh.
Remember that.
Karnataka.
Karnataka?
Karnataka.
Oh, I've had that before.
It's not very... It's
an Indian
Can
coffee?
we cut that?
Isn't the Malibu? Monsoon Malabars an Indian coffee?
Flag and wire coffee.
Flag and wire.
Flag and wire. It's not every day we see a coffee from India, and when we do, they can sometimes be funky. This one has a clean, almost Indonesian quality to it, but without the earthiness. It has a very heavy, creamy body with flavors of walnut, pecan, and some subtle spice that we can't quite pinpoint. That's, I think, what you were talking about that was offsetting the sweetness. Sweetness and acidity are present enough to make a balanced cup. I want more of this coffee.
This is very good. I'm surprised.
I don't know what Flag and Wire's charging for this, but I might buy a bag.
This is great. Yeah. The only other one I think we've had that Ghostly was nice enough to send us when we were first playing around with the Chemex was the Monsoon Malabar that he had roasted.
And that was from India?
It's an Indian coffee, yeah. Yeah, India Monsoon. I double-checked because you got me questioning myself. But yeah. Yeah, Monsoon Malabar, also known as Monsoon Malabar, is a process applied to coffee beans, blah, 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 4 months. Malabar Coast.
It's delicious.
Coffee is unique.
Although, they say walnut and pecan. Are you getting nuttiness?
Well, isn't a walnut in the nut family?
Yeah. Are you getting nuttiness, or where are you hanging out there? What part of the flavor wheel are you kicking it on?
Well, walnuts are different, but I like walnuts. I like how soft walnuts are. You know, like once you get through the
5578.
I do. I mean, they're not. They kind of just break. They're brittle, and they have that unique kind of brittle taste that I associate with. But I'm not getting much of that.
I'm getting some lemon with this 5578.
Oh, you're on a 5578?
Yeah,
you just moved on.
I moved on.
You asked me a question.
Not happy with the answer.
You wanted to talk about the nuttiness, and then when I start delivering, you just move on.
Yeah,
typical. Oh wait, before. Let me hit it with the seltzer.
Yeah, hit it with the seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer.
Not Alka-Seltzer, seltzer water.
Okay. What are you getting?
Got a citrus.
I will say, drinking these cold coffees is a little more refreshing on these hot days.
Yeah, it was hailing today.
But it's still hot.
It was like it's like 117 degrees in Phoenix, and it's like
it's humid now.
It's 70 degrees and hailing.
Yeah, but I think in this room it's like 100 with these lights.
What are you thinking for this guy?
This one's very good. It has a little more of a spice.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
the acidity is a little crisper.
Yeah.
One more sip. Yeah, it reminds me of like a Kenyan.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at this point, who knows? I'm not very good at this. So that's what I would go with.
Peru.
Yeah.
Cajamarca. Again, flag and wire. Dried fruit, butter, and maple. A tasty Peru with dried fruit up front, as well as soft florals and fruitiness throughout. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
We get a mix of raisin, fig, and prune. Sometimes, man, I am just killing it. Something about the sweetness reminds us of pancakes. Asaf. Especially towards the aftertaste, we're getting a mix of buttery maple and honey notes. Nice balance, perfect way to start your day. I got to tell you, normally I tease Angel's Cup pretty heavily about their flavor notes.
The descriptors?
I thought they were pretty good today.
Yeah. Was there one on there about butter or something?
Yeah. Because it's got a good mouthfeel. It's got kind of a thicker, buttery mouthfeel.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that. As soon as you said that, it clicked.
It came alive for you. Yeah.
But Peru.
Peru.
Where is Peru?
South America.
So not Africa. Wrong again.
We're killing it today. So we're 0 for 2.
That's right. We can split the difference here. 50-50.
I mean, the brew methods seem very good.
They do.
Like, they might not be as cold as you would want for like iced. And I mean, you could see you adding a little bit of ice in there.
Sure.
But I can also add a little cream and sugar, milk and simple syrup or whatever to either of these coffees. They would be fantastic.
They would. Plus, like you said, if you had the bigger cubed ice, I think it would fare better.
I like to try.
Nice.
Both of these coffees are excellent.
They are good. Going to the shorter, fatter one?
Yes.
Accepted. Plus, these two were the first two we made.
Yeah.
So they've been sitting at room temp for a little bit.
That's true.
These feel a little colder already.
Well, this one's set in the Hyperchiller as well.
Man. What do you have right there? What do you...
Yeah.
No, wait.
Yes. How can I help you?
That's only for the video. Sorry.
It's colder.
It is colder.
Melon,
Yep.
lemon,
Brain
lime.
freeze.
I'm getting a lot more fruity zinginess.
Anything in the nuttiness?
No nuttiness. I'm saying Ethiopia.
If we just keep going with those two.
So good.
Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta let me guess.
Wow. I suck.
There is something unique.
Yeah. How unique?
I don't know. Brazil.
Colombia Totoro.
I was closer than you.
Yeah, this time.
Doesn't matter.
This coffee comes from a region not too far away from Huila. It starts off with a beautiful mix of tropical fruit like jackfruit and lychee. Lychee?
Leche?
Leche. Perfect. Medium body, very nice sweetness. Towards the middle and aftertaste, we're getting some honey and maybe just a little cocoa. I don't know if I'm getting any cocoa, but I was thinking, I mean, I don't know what jackfruit tastes like, whether it has a melony taste, but I was getting a lot of fruitiness.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good Colombian. I thought I got like a little nuttiness, in all honesty, and that's why I went with Brazil.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's real good.
It is good. So far, I'm enjoying all of these. Which, this one's nice and cold, though. Whoa, so this was, wait a minute.
Hario V60 and Hyperchilled.
That's why.
And they're from Airship Coffee.
That's why. Let's make note of that. So the Hyperchiller, this is non-diluted, right?
Non-diluted.
No ice.
Yeah.
And chilled, and it is by far the coldest.
Coldest. Mm-hmm.
The coldest.
Without a doubt.
On the table here. How's this last one?
Without a doubt. Oh, yeah. The Hyperchiller does the best job of making cold coffee.
Yes.
You don't need any dilution. You don't need to play any games. You just brew it up, throw it in.
No math.
Swish it, swirl it, dump it, drink it, love it.
Enjoy it. Yep, it's very good.
That too.
I'm really enjoying this Colombian. Plus, you don't have to adjust, so I think your extraction is just that much better. All right, moving on.
I think so, yeah. And you just use your whatever brew method you're already good at.
Exactly. That aftertaste in that Colombian is really good.
Sitting with you, huh?
Yeah. It's calling me back. It
Ready
says
for the next one?
No, it says don't even bother.
Wow.
It says there's no comparison after me.
Now, I don't want to confess too much here today, but some of you out there, you have had something to drink of an adult nature, an alcoholic beverage.
What?
And you've reached that point where you stop tasting the alcohol. And you're just like, and then if you just keep drinking, bad things are going to happen. Or if you need to take a break, drink some more water, chill out, have some pizza or whatever it is. I'm at that point where I'm like, my little inner on this shoulder with a little red-haired horn Jake.
Yeah, you're
saying,
your conscience.
Kill it all. Just drink all of it.
See what happens.
Just see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that 500 milligram recommended threshold.
All I've had to eat today is like one Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah, but it's Chick-fil-A.
It's
got you.
It's got me.
I'll see you through.
Yeah. He's like, let's do it. Bring it on. Bring it.
He's in your time. I'm still here.
Wow.
I'll soak it up.
I'm like, wow. Okay.
What, are you buzzing a little bit?
I'm buzzing. I'm way buzzing. I'm gone.
All right. Cheers.
5580.
5580. Last one. These are the skinny tall ones. They got kind of nice glass bottoms. Do you know what these are? Mm-hmm. I mean, like there's thicker glass at the bottom.
Yeah, these are Libby's. These are all Libby's. Different. I think they call these like highballs or something like that.
Oh, I thought that was these guys. Oh, those are low balls.
Well, I think the style might be a short highball and like a tall highball or something like that.
Yeah, for libations.
Something wrong. Yes. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to look for. I mean, when you look at these different glasses, all of these were purchased in an attempt to find what presents iced coffee, cold brew coffee, coffee cocktails the best way.
The absolute best. I kind of like the shorter, fatter, round ones.
Yeah, me too. But I want to compare these to the dragons. Like if you get a Hyperchiller, you get the dragon glass. You know what I mean? That's what I want to. There's other glasses out there designed for whiskey and other things like that.
Yeah,
that I'm looking into.
Looking to go with.
That I'm gonna.
Gotcha.
Look into.
Some of them are real fancy, right? And they even have like different things in the bottom in the shape to draw out the aromas. The way that the liquid off gases, it like swirls out the cup and hits your. What is it?
That's what I'm looking for.
I want to say a word I don't know.
Because, believe me, everyone loves it when you say words you don't know.
It starts with an O. Off. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, no idea. No, keep going.
It has something to do with your palate, your nasal.
Nope.
What is it?
No, keep going.
If you know, hit us up in the comments.
Oh, they know.
It's
because I already said it on the Daily Ristretto.
Oh, you said it?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like the last week.
Oh, well, I don't listen, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, you don't. In fact, it's even in a title on one of the daily ristrettos. So, yeah, what is it?
Off late? Am I close?
So close. So close.
Oh, phallus. I don't know. What is it? It has to, I'm in the I'm in the ballpark, right?
You're so close. It's so good. Yeah, I think I'd prefer for you to keep guessing, though, if it's all the same to you.
Let me have a little bit more of this.
Yeah, get a little more coffee. Now, what do you think of this last one, real quick, before you go back to before the Colombia draws you back?
I want the Colombian.
What are we saying for the origin? What's your origin guess on this one? You sticking with South American, or now you're like, oh, I know this is South American.
It's a bit sour. I don't know what kind of accent that was. It's sour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a sourness, so maybe that was the Chemex.
Yeah. Don't know if we got the best extraction, but the other Chemex turned out great. That was this. That was
and this one came in at time.
Yeah. The Peru was the Chemex, and it was fantastic. So it might be the coffee. Huh. That's surprising.
I am going to say, I'm going to say a South American, not an African.
Burundi Gishubi.
All right, so close.
Very close. The dry aroma is burning with raisin, clearly identifiable as an African coffee. In the cup, it's sweet, syrupy, and even a little bit creamy. I don't know if I'm getting that. Flavor profile is mixed with dried fruit, butterscotch, cinnamon, and almond. It's got a nice stewy flavor to it that reminds us of Kenyan coffee. I'm seeing that I agree with.
That's
but raisin and butterscotch, I'm not feeling that. But with a very candy quality to the sweetness. I don't know if I'm getting that. It was also airship coffee. So we had flag and wire, airship, and airship.
Oh, nice.
We'll throw links in the show notes. We'll find them. Now, sometimes when we go to the roasters and we want to link to these coffees in the show notes, I'll probably just link to the roasters page themselves, because a lot of times the coffees are gone already.
Available.
Yeah, ain't available.
They gone.
They've
been snatched up.
Although this flag and wire, I am like, to me, that's like 2 for 2.
Yeah, they did.
Like 10s.
Good.
These are both great coffees. The airship, the Colombia is cool. The Burundi, I've had better Burundis, you know?
I wouldn't completely hold it against them. Could be something with the brew method.
Yeah. Could have been us.
I think for me, this Colombian is my favorite.
Yeah.
Maybe just because it's the coldest and it's the most appealing.
Yeah.
Well, I got it. Affleck.
Thank you, Mikey, for those words of wisdom. And thank you for listening. You can check the show notes at orangecactuscoffee.com/review19. We will catch you next time.